I'm Ray Hennessy from SmartMoney.com, and with us today is Michael Strahan. Michael, what are you bringing to the fantasy game this year?
Aggressiveness, good defense, a very attacking style of offense, and overall good team play.
Now, do you invest on your own yourself, or do you have an advisor that helps you out?
I have an advisor, but I'm very hands-on about it. And I think for me, in my situation, it's more about wealth preservation more so than trying to take $1 and make $1 million out of it.
What have you learned from investing in the past? What are maybe some of the mistakes you've learned from?
Well, I've just been pretty conservative in what I've done. So as far as mistakes, I've never been in the market. So when the market took a downturn, I lost a lot of money. I've learned that just be patient with your investments. Go with what you're comfortable with. Don't outstep your boundaries. Always have a cushion or a point to where how much you want to accumulate, how much you want to save, especially in the sports world because it's such a short lifespan. Don't buy the cars and the jewelry. You know what? Save your money so that when it's all over, if you're fortunate enough and you play long enough, you can have a pretty comfortable life.
Have athletes gotten that? It's an interesting point because, again, they tend to spend very flashy, and then you get a few years, post-game, and it's a much different story. Do you think athletes are smarter now than they were maybe 10, 15 years ago with their money?
I think guys are smarter. I think the information's a lot better. You have magazines like Smart Money, and that help. But if the guys listen, that's a totally different story. But I think the information that's out there, the advice that's out there, the resources are a lot better. And I do think you have the majority of guys who do listen and the majority of guys who are thinking further ahead than the next day or the next paycheck. And that's why, you have a lot of guys now who do very well when they're done playing football.
And does the Players Association help with resources for folks, too?
Well, they have the advisory. If you have an advisor, you can go to the Players Association and have that person checked out. They have to be on an approved list. Or you can go your own way and not mess with anybody that's on that list at all. Basically, it's your money. It's your opportunity to do what you want with it. And with that being said, if something does go wrong, they have no responsibility at all. Right. So it really is yours to invest and yours to watch out for. And I think that's one of the traps that most guys fall into is that they think they're making so much money and just putting it away, when in turn, when it's all said and done and you expect to have money there, it's not there because you didn't manage it, you didn't watch it, you don't know how to invest it, you don't know a mutual fund from a regular stock in a company. So, but guys are more informed now.
Do veterans invest different than rookies and second-year players?
Yes. I think a veteran player will invest thinking about when you're 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. A rookie probably doesn't invest at all. He's thinking about today, tomorrow, the next, he's not really thinking that far ahead. And that's one of the bad things about it. And you just hope that guys do have veteran guys, because I try to encourage the younger guys, come up with a set amount of money, a goal that you want to achieve. No different than your goal of being in the Super Bowl or your goal of being in the Pro Bowl. Come up with a goal financially, and don't deter from that. Stay there and save until you reach that goal. Don't get caught up in the fact that you need to keep up with the Joneses, with the cars and everything else. But it's very hard to tell a young player that because it's just the nature of the beast.
Now back to our All-Star Bowl. You're up against Vilma and Salisbury. What do you think of the competition? I
like both of those guys, but when it comes to competition, they can't handle me. I'm too much for those guys. I'm going to outstudy them. I'm going to outsmart them and do everything I need to do to make sure that I come out on top.
Well, Michael, thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, pleasure.